Hey, what's up, everyone? How you all guys doing? I'm and I'm back again here with a breakdown, right? Literally, I'm on a current project, and I wanted to kind of just break down the behind the scene of how I did this specific scene, right? A couple of stuff happening in here. There's a way I simplified a lot of stuff. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the environment. I'll talk about the movement of the kite, how the rigging of the rope, and how to add those small animations. And I'll show you how most of this stuff were done with barely keyframe. Like the kite, the arms, there's no keyframe on that. And I will talk about it. I'll talk about how I usually use a couple of plugins to speed up my workflow. And yeah, stay with me at the end. I'm gonna have a nice small animation that we're gonna do together. Here, short, straightforward. Again, it will be no keyframe involved, no expressions, none of that. Just stay with me there, and then you're gonna see what I'm gonna do at the end. But first of all, let's talk about this environment. This environment is beautiful, but it's crazy because in total I've hidden a lot of layers, right? I'm just shy them, but in total I have around 455 layers, right? It's a big composition. It's actually really heavy, and let me take you through the environment. So if I jump to my top view, you kind of have an understanding of how this scene is built. Actually, you know what? I want to create another scene aside and to break it down for you. So basically, I have the flowers broken down on theirs, and I have the bush as well. But if I open it in its composition, this is how it looks. I designed it in Illustrator and then imported it in After Effects. So if I look for it, it's called flowers. I think this is it. Let me open this. Yeah, this is it. So this is how I broke it down in Illustrator. I have the, oops, watch out, don't mess it up. I have the flowers on their own. See how they are, individually broken. And then I have two type of bushes. I have the thick bush, and then I have this kind of light bush. Right, so I mixed both of them, and I created a scene. If I jump back, to that composition, or if you guys want us to kind of recreate that scene in a small version, because as I said, this is really big. It has like around 455 layers. And then if you have to build something like this, to go about it, we just create a new composition. I'll do like a 1920, then 20, right, 1080 to keep it small just for now. And press OK. So the next thing would be bringing the asset in, right? The asset I've just showed you. Let's start with the flowers. So I'll open the layers. I'll look for. Actually, you know what? Let's start with the bush. If it makes sense. Let's start with the thick bush. I'll bring the thick bush in, and I'll just make sure I put my anchor point in the right position. So I'll put it down here, somewhere there. From there, I can just make this 3D. Okay. And you can, of course, you can navigate because you don't have a camera, so you can go ahead and add a new camera in the composition. So we'll have a 3D camera around here. Okay, once you have it, if you press C on your keyboard, it gives you your camera's tools, right? Options. Okay. So if I press C, I can now kind of rotate around my object. You see it's interacting in the 3D space. So that would be like my first push. Meaning from the top view here, if I zoom out, if I use this, zoom out from the top view, if I click, and this is my bush, right? The first one. Right? If I duplicate this, I can bring this one a little bit forward. I'll bring it forward. So I have like two of them. Now with the camera, if I rotate again, with the camera, you see we kind of have some depth going on there. We have that back one and front one. It's all about also you position the camera. Of course, you don't want to sell yourself out by showing something like this. That would be really wrong. So it would be approximately something like that. I think my keyboard battery just went down. Just gonna give me a second. I'm gonna change it out. Yeah. So we're going to add more objects in our scene to make it more busy, right? To feel more. First of all, we need a ground. So actually, what I did with the scene, if you take it back to the scene one here, the ground is pretty green as well. So that's why it looks like our character are in a thick bush, right? So I just did I literally just duplicated one of this background, of this bush. I just duplicated it, but I rotated it, right? I'm sorry, I think is that, no? It's the X. I just rotate the X axis to like 90, right? Something like that. But I didn't leave it like that, right? So from there, I'll just stretch it. Because now if you look at it, it looks like it's so flat on the ground here, right? Flat on the ground here. And then what I'll do now, I'll just stretch it, right? So I'll press S, I'll break the X, I'll break the chain, and then I'll just scale it on the Y axis, stretch it over, and it looks like just like a bush, right? Of grass on the ground, something like that. From there, we can just duplicate more of this bush. The front one, remember we had two type of bush. We had this was a thick one, and we also had the light one. So let's look for the light one. We bring it. Instead of me bringing it in and turning it 3D again, what I'll just do, I'll just duplicate one of these, right? So I'll just duplicate this one. Press Ctrl D, maybe pushing it more forward like this. And then you can just art this. I'll bring this in while holding Alt and while making sure the layer that I'm trying to replace is selected, and just drop it in, right? And it does change it. So if I saw it, you see it's a different type of brush. It's quite light. And you see we have kind of having something going on in our scene, right? It looks thicker. If I go back to one view here, see it looks more thicker. Now we can add flowers. We had small flowers, remember? These flowers, we just drop them in. Make sure it's 3D as well. Just using this view. But you can solo it and also make sure the anchor point actually really makes to make sure the anchor point is in the right place, because we're going to give this flower some animation as well. Remember I said we're using this with any keyframe. I'll show you what I use with the keyframe. It's a plugin that you can get actually for free, because they give you some. There's a free version of it. Of course, there's also a paid version of it. So if you want to try it out, even the free version can just work as perfect. I want to show you how to use it. So I'll just zoom out. Let's scale this up. scale the flower up, right? Something like that. You can always move it in space, in 3D space. You know, you can always switch to the top view, but I kind of like moving in my scene. Just feel free. Right. I'll duplicate this, push this on the side somewhere. You can always replace it. We have like different type of flowers. Or if you want to use the same, it's up to you. I'll just use the same. I'll transform, flip it horizontal, make it look a bit different, and maybe scale it down a bit, or small or big, just up to you. So you can have that. But before I go ahead, so what I want to do is I already want to add like an animation to them. So I'm just trying to work smartly, right? Because then if I keep duplicating them, and then I'll have to animate them all one by one again. But then if I just make an animation already in one of them, I can duplicate them. I can duplicate them while they already have an animation there, right? I don't know if that makes sense. But it's gonna make sense in a second. Okay, let's do it. So we're gonna bring in Animation Composer. This is one of my everyday plugin. I'll say I use it a lot. And Effect, this is a paid version. But when you get a free version, it comes with most of some, not most, but some of these effects as well, right? So on the effect, I'll go, because I want my plant to kind of swing. So I'll go under rotation, right? I'll pick one of those effects, something that just swing back and forth. I think this one, the first one. I'll just add it to it. So if I play, you see my plant isn't swinging, but this is quite crazy. This is not how I want it. The swing is like, not too much. Right. So if I play it, you see it's swinging, but it's quite too much. So we just play with these numbers here. First, we reduce the angle. Instead of that, we do like something. I like to start small, so I'll do like 5. 5 is too low, so we can always go to like 10. Now let's play with the frequency. Maybe it's too fast. I'll reduce it to like 3. So we have the maybe we can do 20, and then the frequency we can do 2. Oh, come on, 2. Yeah. Then we have something like that. Let me just fix the rotation. All right. Why is it clocking like that? Okay. I think I'm gonna use this one. I don't like that first one. So we can always add and then remove the first one. I remove the first one and I'll change the numbers again. I'll change this to 20. Okay, that's much better. Oh, no, I said 20, not 10. Okay, we're just playing with numbers. And then the frequency, I'll also reduce it to like 2. Wow, that's much better. Right? It's a smooth, cozy wind, right? Kind of. So I can always copy that effect and place it and paste it to this other flower. So kind of click on edit, press action, and then paste it. Play. We have 2 plants swinging, but I don't like how they're all swinging in the same direction. So this one I can always change it. Instead of the angle to be 10, I'll do -10. Or I can, yeah, -10. You can play, offset the time a bit here to like 20. Yeah, so they kind of be randomized. And I'll reduce this to maybe -6. Yeah, something like that. So what we can do now, we can just duplicate this plant over and over around. And if you've noticed, we have 0 keyframe on our timeline, but we have an animation, right? So cool. Now, I'll just duplicate this to make this place more bushy. Um, Click on some of this, duplicate it around. Let's move them around. You can always play with the scale. Feel free on your scene. So this is your scene, right? You can always move the way you want. Feel free. But make sure when it comes to the last frame, when you're framing for your animation, you get the best angle, right? So add this or flip this around. Horizontal. Let's get it down. Duplicate more of this. So just moving them around, randomizing them, right? So I'll do the same with the bush as well. Duplicate them and just move them around. So with the bush, we can also add some animation, and I'll show you to just make it more more live, right? Get this one as well. Shade it back. Get this. So you can see I'm just randomizing them around, even the position, moving some of them up, down, forward, backward, until it kind of looks bushy. Yeah, something like this. Now from there, if my ground is not that green, then my ground I can duplicate it. So what I'll do with the ground, this one I'll also duplicate it, and then I'll just rotate it. First move it ahead here. See? And then I just lock it down. I won't even rotate it in my ground. So that one and this to the ground. So if I go back to the scene, this is what we have in there. And this is already scene on its own. Because I can literally add a character here. But let me make the foreground a bit more busy. Which one is that? Let me try to solve this. Oh, something bushy. This one. So I'll duplicate this. I'll bring it more forward. Okay, which one was it? I'll bring it more forward. No, which one was this? Yeah, I think it was this. So I'll just duplicate this one. I think I like this angle. So I don't move the camera really. I'll just leave it there. And I'll bring somewhere there. But then I'll move it down a bit. Alright, so here I can literally just add a character and animate a scene there. We just add more flowers around. Just duplicate this. And actually, we're going to add a character. Just give me 1 second. Literally, I will have said in the class. 1 second. Alright, so we're having something like this. The beauty about having a scene like this is you can literally go, it has a depth, right? So you can dolly in, zoom out, and you're literally going through, or it's like you're panning over object. It doesn't look flat. So that's the beauty about it. And if I play, you literally have an animating scene. But then let's add some live to our grass as well, right? So with the grass, I usually animate the middle one. On the front one, I want it to kind of like stay still like that. It's a game of mine. Animation is an illusion. They used to tell at the school animation is an illusion, and it's fact it's an illusion. So we're just gonna play with some illusion here. I'm gonna come on top here, click one of those middle grass. Which one is this? I hope it's this one. Alright, so same thing I did with the plant. I'm going to just add like an up and down motion to this flower. So let me just lock this camera. This is going to be my main camera. Let me name it main cam. And I'll duplicate this. And this one is test cam. So this one we can move it around, right? The other one we can move it. Let me just lock it. The main one we lock it. So the test cam we can move it. So right now what we're trying to do is to add some motion to this middle grass, right? You see how it looks weird when you come on the side. That's what I was saying, it's an illusion, right? When you come this side, the illusion is just perfect. Alright, cool. So I'll select this middle first on the grass. And with this one. So remember, this is the test camera, so I can move it however I want. Since I already know that I've locked my main angle, right? This one, I'll add some up and down motion to it, I think. Yeah, this. Or, yeah, let's do it to this. So under Animation Composer, I just want this grass to kind of, looks like it's swinging. Maybe you can even do some rotation as well. I'll add, you know what? I'll go ahead and just select one of these plants. Because remember, we already have a swing animation to it, right? I'll copy it. And then I'll paste it to one of this. One of those, yeah. So I'll come under Edit, Preset Action, paste it. But then it shouldn't swing that much. Alright, it shouldn't swing much, so maybe the angle will be like 2. So if you play it and we go back to the main camera, this how it looks. Let's try and fix this angle a bit. Something like this. So if you play it from here, we see the middle grass kind of has like a motion to it. It's quite slow. Yeah, that's kind of a motion to it. It's quite slow. We can now play with the numbers, right? Come here. Which one was it? Let's go back to our test camera. Let's select the layer. I think it's this one. Layer 17. Okay. So we'll be playing it while changing the numbers here. Or maybe bow angle, that's 1. And the frequency, I could maybe increase this to like 5. Yeah. So like 5, right? Something like that. That's just enough motion. Right. And then from that, we can add more live in our scene, like I did here. So if you want, I'll just try to drop one character here. I have a bunch of characters here. I'll make sure this part is blurred. Maybe the character playing with the kite, yeah. So we start playing with the kite. This one. So I'll bring her in. There she is. Make sure she's 3D. And scale it down. And just fit in the screen, right? In the scene. Let's move her more up. Let me switch to my test camera again. Alright, so there she is. I'll move her more up. Yeah, we go back to that angle. It looks like where's the main camera? So if I switch off this again, go back to the main camera, it looks like this. With this, like I said, the beauty about this, you have depth, right? You can literally dolly in and animate this. You can animate this dolly. So you can literally have more angle if just one scene, and that's the beauty about setting up an environment. So if I play it, I see my character is already animated. She's blinking. She's playing with a kite in the middle of the field. Okay. So now let's talk about the kite. Actually, even the kite, the hand swings and stuff, same technique I did use, just with animation composer. Yeah, there's no keyframe as well. So this is literally just a stroke, right? A spine, a stroke. But then I rigged the let's just say, maybe we can do it again as well. I'll show you guys how I rig it. Because I needed controllers for it to move the way it's moving. A bunch of just animation composer. Oh my god. A lot of technique I'm unveiling today. And there's so many more I could teach you in my class. This is just, these ones are just small things. These are the small things, like Nigeria always say. So let me click on this, show you how I did this stroke. So this stroke, as you can see, has controllers on it. There's this now, this one, and that one as well. And they are all, each of those knobs are controlling the rope. Right, so this one is controlling the middle, and this one is controlling the extreme. So literally, this rope makes the rope flexible. How to do that? It's actually pretty much simple. Let me create a new composition, and I want to show you how I did that as well. So you need a spine. So you just kind of draw your rope around, something like that. But if you do this, you'll only have two controllers because you only have 2 points. But I kind of need a controller in the middle here to make my rope more flexible. So I'll just add like a point here. So at the end, I have like 3 points. So I'll open it up, select my path, and come under Windows. Is it Windows? Yeah, here's Windows. Null, what is it called again? Yeah, create null from path. This is it. You open this window, create null from path, and you click on this first option, unfollow null. Okay, it says not selected. You need to make sure your path is selected. Select your path, and then you click on it again. So it will create those 3 nulls kind of control, right? And then you need to make sure you select on the path again, and you select on all those 3 nulls. And then you do nulls, follow path, click on it again. So once you click on it, now it's rigged. You can literally just lock your rope. And then these controllers will control each point. Alright, so it's literally like a rig. It's really beautiful. And then from there, what I did, I just connected this last this last control to the wrist. And then let's go back to it. I'll show you how I did. Playing the kite. So this last controller of the kite is connected to this one. It's connected to the wrist, right? And the wrist also has animation composer to it. I literally close this window, we don't need anymore. So the wrist over here, I think it's the left wrist that's dragging in. Yeah, the left wrist has this animation composer effect to it. Literally is just like a random wiggle, kind of the hand just moving around. But then you see it's moving, and the old kite is following it because I attached all the kite knurls also to the wrist. So basically, when the wrist is going up, they're also going back. That's not it. Even the kite, even the knurl also, like this middle knurl, I also gave it in the animation composer to it. Wiggle. You just go up and down. That's why I say it's giving me that in the middle. Right? So we have no keyframe at all, but we have an animation, full animation. And then let's talk about the kite itself here. So even the kite has an animation composer of rotation on it. So all it's doing is just swinging, swinging, and I attach it to that control, and everything together gives you that. And when you put it in your scene, it gives you this. Give you that. There's so many more technique I do to make my work faster, right? And it's just beautiful. That's all I can say for it. It's beautiful when you discover new technique, and all you want is to share with others, right? So I'm on Andre, and I'm a professional animator and a trainer as well. So I'll be glad to teach you a couple of my techniques and my tips. And my contact is always down there. Looking forward to having my next class, in my next master class. Beautiful and peace. I'll share more. And this was actually enough for today. I don't want to pump you guys with a lot. Let me keep some. I'll keep sharing while working, because it's not easy to to share yourself like that. But I'll do my best to stay active, right? To post with you guys and to always show you what I'm up to, right? So this was it. And nice and peace and love to everyone, and peace to the world, right?